How's it going, everybody? Can everybody hear me? Awesome. Thank you, Cade, for joining us. The process will be the same. Use the raise hand feature if you want to ask a question. And our first question goes to Trevor.
Hey, Cade, thank you for doing this. Sort of just walking through your career at this point, right? Being from the area in Gilbert, working hard kind of in the weight room to put yourself in a position to start last year, and then it got thrown off with your injury. Can you just describe your emotions on getting this sixth year of eligibility and what it was like leading up to that process?
It feels amazing. Like, as you mentioned, like last year was a little dream shattering. Kind of the fifth year last year, all the pieces came together to start. Broken foot, but feels great to be back here, and I'm lucky I got another opportunity, and I appreciate it.
Jacob.
Hey, Cade, when you kind of evaluate where you're at now in terms of depth chart status, do you kind of feel like you're back in that full-fledged competition mode? Because I know that last year, like you said, it was kind of crushing to be thrown out of the mix. And where do you feel like you are now that the preseason is really getting going here?
As far as the depth chart goes,
yeah,
it's the starting spot's mine to lose, but I'm gonna go out every day like I'm competing for a spot. I'm gonna be the best center I can be for this team.
Zach.
Hey, Cade, I know your Twitter profile or your Twitter banner is a picture, I think, your foot with a screw in it. Is that like bulletin board material for you to keep reminding yourself?
Definitely. I put it there a while back, and it's just something I see every day. It reminds me of how fragile playing football can be and how quick it can be taken away from you. Definitely bulletin board material to make me appreciate this game.
Trevor.
Cade, obviously, you being the oldest guy, and then Kellen and Henry coming in, but you having the most experience with this team and with this group, do you feel any additional responsibilities just as a leader from your perspective, and what kind of things have you done maybe in your position to do that?
I think there's definitely an added responsibility. I'm the oldest one here. I get jokes every day about being the grumpy old man in the O-line room. If we pull up film from Coach C's heyday from the 90s, they ask if I was in college yet. But I think definitely is my responsibility is to make sure the younger guys, I mean, like Ladarius and Donovan, they've played a lot, so I don't need to get on them. But I got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Jeff.
Could you just talk about the two grad players coming in and just how the cohesiveness of the whole line is coming together?
I mean, I think Henry and Kellen are great players, and I think they're definitely going to make our O-line better. I think those two added pieces definitely solidify our line. I think we're going to have a really good O-line. And the cohesiveness, it took a while to get going because we didn't play together in spring because I didn't play and Henry wasn't there. But I think now all five of us up front, grad transfers and all, I think we're starting to get the hang of it. Calls are getting together clean and double teams, everything coming together real nicely.
Trevor.
Okay, so you didn't get to participate in the spring, but what are just your impressions so far of Coach Hill's offense and what will be required from you and the O-line group in it that's different from previous schemes you've been in?
I think it's definitely the most complex offense I've been a part of, but I think that's a good thing. I think we use the snap count a lot more than we have in previous years. And I think that's going to play to our advantage. A lot of great schemes, a lot of up-tempo stuff, which we got into today. But we also have the ability to huddle, slow it down, make sure we're on the same page. And as far as my responsibility, I got to be in tune with the snap count. That's something I think the center struggled with in spring, and I struggled with a little early in camp, but I think we got the hang of it now.
Alex.
Hey, I'm just curious what sort of development you've seen from the younger guys who did get to play a lot last year, like Donovan and Ladarius, and sort of the differences between them last year to right now.
I think they're more comfortable. They're more confident in their calls. They're not, because like last year there was kind of a trial by fire, but I think as the year went on and as this year's developing, they're turning into really good players, and I think they're both going to be really great players when this is all said and done.
Jacob.
With the offseason unfolding the way it did, how did you guys as a unit build cohesiveness and kind of figure out a way to get to know each other in a way that would allow you guys to get back onto the field during camp and kind of play as a mesh together unit? Because I know that was a lot more challenging this offseason than it has been in the past.
It was definitely a challenge because it's not like you can get together at a a teammate's house, trying to keep quarantine, stay safe, but just making sure we're all paying attention. We're all asking the right questions in meetings. We're discussing calls, how we want to make the calls, how we want to run a certain play, maybe beyond what coach has said. And I think that's how you get the cohesiveness and the mesh together in the front five.
Zach.
What did you do during the pandemic and during your quarantine in order to stay in football shape?
Working out every day. When it all started, we weren't allowed to come here. Driving down to Gilbert to work out with my dad in his garage, just every day, back where it all started, and being my own man.
All right, 4 more questions. Jordan.
How would you describe this offensive line group together? Like, you've talked a lot about the cohesiveness. Is it one big happy family? Is it a bunch of, brothers trying to get under each other's skin with tough love? How would you guys like try to motivate each other?
I think how you put it, the bunch of brothers trying to get under each other's skin. We tease each other, we mess with each other, we get in each other's head a little bit, but it's all good and fun, and I think we're having a lot of fun out there.
And just to follow up on that, what's something that maybe one of your teammates might say to get under your skin to motivate you a little bit?
Old man, I'm in the leadership group here, so Donovan likes to call me Captain Cade Cote. That's a good one. Just the broken foot thing, all that good stuff.
Code.
Cade, being a 6-year senior, but also being a local guy here, how much sense of urgency have you personally have to really make this season your best? Obviously, it's been a long wait for you personally to be in the position you are right now.
I don't know if there's a sense of urgency. There's definitely an appreciation for it, because considering I thought I was going to last year like this is my last hurrah, but now that this is definitely my last chance, no matter what, there's a new appreciation every day. I'm not dreading coming to practice anymore. It's my last chance doing it. I'm gonna get the most out of it.
And just a quick follow-up question. As you know, you have a chance, like some other people around the country, to be a 7th-year senior next year if you chose to. Is that something that has crossed your mind, or maybe just we'll cross that bridge when you get to it?
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Trevor.
Okay, just sort of zooming in on a couple questions that you were asked ago. You guys obviously lost 4 productive seniors from last year's roster. What are your just collective expectations for this group in terms of what it can achieve collectively as you guys start to come together here?
I think this is the same standard that Coach C has every year since he's gotten here. We got to play at a high level. We got to protect the quarterback, and we got to move the ball. I mean, last year we had a chance to be a great O-line. We still were a good O-line, but it was we struggled a little bit because guys got hurt, guys had to move around. But I think this year we got a good chance to go into the season with a steady set of 5.
Alex.
You mentioned this being maybe your last chance. Have you taken any sort of role or talked to guys about being safe to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible and nobody has to miss any games?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone in the locker room is taking that stance. If anybody gets wind of anyone wanting to go out, that gets killed immediately. And I think everyone's making sure everyone's staying home. Everyone's masked up in the building, washing hands. I mean, we're just making sure no one's being selfish and putting them or their team at risk with all this going on.
Last question, Jeff.
There's been some O-line transfers that have come in here previously in recent years. What's that like, both from an adaptation standpoint, and then maybe some good things that people bring that from being other places?
I think it's definitely a good thing. Like with Henry and Kellen coming in, you kind of get to see like how their O-line coach taught certain things, how they scouted other players, what their calls were, and kind of you could take a look at it and see if maybe that works better. But other than that, once any transfer comes here, especially in the O-line room, they adapt pretty quickly and we get along pretty well.
All right. Thank you, Cade. We'll be back with the other linemen shortly.